I have a story to tell you, and it all starts back in 2014. I got a job covering a figure skating competition that went for 7 weeks, and each week was in a different country. As you see, Donnie and Austin here figured out a way to take a selfie pano so we could all be in a picture without actually having to ask a stranger to take our picture. It'd be kind of funny. I actually have a video of this. Anyhow, this job took me to places like Japan and other places I'd never dreamed I'd actually ever get to go to in my life. And places I'd never even heard of. You know, like when I got the list of some of the places we'd go at, I remember going to Google Maps and typing in Ljubljana or Tallinn and figuring out where in the world these places were because I'd never heard of them. And so in 2015, when we got the job again, I decided I was going to take as many time lapses as possible. So I bought a camera specifically just for that, to show people what it was more realistically like being in some of these foreign lands that I get to travel to. And if you remember that supermoon lunar eclipse back in 2015, well, this is where I was for it. What are you going to do, Matthew?
I was going to stare at the random guy. And
right on. Do it. Go for it. Roll it. Take it. All silly moments aside, I had the best lasagna of my life there in Spain. One of the greatest things about this job was being able to live and breathe so many different cultures all around the world.
Is this your first Snapchat?
Yeah, go say.
Oh wait, you're doing it now?
Yeah. 2016 would be the first year I bought a drone, and the very first flight I ever took it on in Europe. You see right there, I flew it into the boards in an ice rink. Bravo me, huh? But thankfully, that's been the only crash I've ever had. I can't say the same about those late midnight runs to McDonald's after working a 14-hour day, though. This is how I air dry my laundry when I'm living on the road for 10 weeks. That's a shower, just laying everything out. I also remember the very first time I was in Red Square and looking around and just thinking, how did a kid from the Midwest wind up here? 2017 was the year to say goodbye, I guess, because my nephew Mason was born since the last time I'd head out on the road for this job. So whatever that thing is what they're shooting in this movie. And of course, the other reason why I say that is because 2 months before we left on this journey, my mom had passed away. But there were some really great moments from this season. Going to a new continent in Australia and Salzburg, seeing where they filmed The Sound of Music, and even going to Belarus. Whoever gets to go there? And this place here, we just stumbled across, and I later found out it's where they filmed one of the very first scenes in The Italian Job. And sure enough, 2018 starts the same way 2017 did, saying goodbye with a shoulders pick with Mason. I think one of the misconceptions of seeing someone travel for work is to think that it's like a vacation, but the reality is we normally worked 40 to 60 hours a week, Tuesday through Saturday, and Sunday we traveled all day, most of the time, and Monday was our day off to do whatever we wanted. So any of these adventures you see, they're probably on a Monday or a Tuesday evening. But as you see, whether I was chasing dragons or getting hurt, I tried to make the most of things. I would try to soak in as much as I could with my limited time wherever I was. Seriously, who from America gets to go to Yerevan, Armenia? I mean, unless you're a Kardashian, right? Like nobody from America is heading over there. It's so far away. We knew it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. All injuries aside, this was my favorite restaurant I've ever been to in my life. If you ever go to Yerevan, check it out. Well, Mason isn't as little as he once was, but we still take the shoulders picture to keep the 3-year tradition going strong. And even though we'd been to Courchevel before, this is the first time with a drone. But unfortunately for our rental van, it didn't fare so well against the parking garage. We also worked out of the locker room where Herb Brooks gave his famous speech to the U.S. hockey team before defeating Russia. When do you think the next time we'll be here, Austin?
I don't know.
You never know, right?
You never know.
This has got to be humiliating. Mom, Dad, come watch me. I'm going to do this amazing high wire act. And then he falls. Oh, live there. That's why they're tethered, kids.
Yeah. Exactly.
They're not professionals. Don't do this at home.
And I'll probably never forget the time I convinced 2 Kremlin guards that spoke very little English to take a picture with Austin, because he wanted that photo. And gosh dang it, if he wants that photo, I'm going to try to get him that photo. And we got it. And then we had to Chelmsford where we see this meteor just taking scenics, and we get featured in their paper. And so they sent us this shot of it from Facebook. And it just makes me laugh because who am I to be a big deal anywhere? No matter if it's Russia, Poland, or wherever. It doesn't matter. It just floored me that this would happen to us.
What's so funny? I'm just trying to show the ambiance and the thing over here feels so good with Liv and Patience. How you doing, Tim?
Doing pretty good.
It's actually pretty right. More now than traffic.
This was actually our second time trying to go to the park. The first time we'd been rained out. Austin lost his sunglasses and he's trying to fix them out. And actually, you're pretty close.
Winner, winner!
You look like the Unabomber kind of.
Of all the day trips that group right there had done together, this was probably one of my favorites. Only ones above this would maybe be Australia or Italy. And I hate making these sort of comparisons, but if you force me, I would never recommend anybody to go to Ostrava.
Duck, goose. Calzone.
I think most in our group would agree that this is one of our favorite places to go. It's just beautiful, great food, and the best tiramisu right here that I've ever had in my life.
Trying to get the truck into this little hole and it's wet and the thing's slipping.
This was the first year I stayed in Europe after the season was said and done to take a little vacation. And just a few days before it ended, I asked my brother John if he'd come over, and he said, of course, yes. So I flew him over with Miles, and we went around Verona and Lake Garda for a couple days and made some silly videos on a mission to find McDonald's fast food. It was so bad, but people laughed. It was somewhat humorous.
This is where they filmed.
Or it's crevasse.
You're probably wondering, why are you walking us down memory lane now? Well, even though we were back for 2021, because in 2020 it was canceled, found out a couple months ago that 2021 was actually our last season. It was also the most challenging season, with massive flight delays and tons of COVID tests and weird scheduling with flights and trains. It was also the year I started documenting all our flights because my little nephew Mason loves airplanes and he watches anything and everything to do with airplanes, so Take Flight was born. It was also when I was reminded that I'm the only person to have been to every single Junior Grand Prix event since 2014.
Austin, are you working right now or what, bro? Sure looks like it.
Trying to see how I can follow the ball.
Oh, this is great. These little kids were bothering us. It was awesome.
Being freelance, you kind of have to always treat every job as if it's your last. I know, it's kind of a weird way to live, but if it's one thing we learn in life, it's very few things last for long. And hey, got some great jumping photos from the final season. Even got Phil here involved.
How you doing? You have insurance too? We're gonna see you use your paperwork. You broke your second wine glass,
This is
bro.
twice.
No, I didn't.
This is twice, man.
I got it on video already.
So many great memories. And as all good stories go, they seem to go by so much quicker than we ever think they will.